Todd, congratulations. How would you sum that sort of that performance up?
I thought offensively we clicked pretty well. We were pretty efficient. Shot a good percentage and made the most of our opportunities. Obviously helped that we got out hot and saw the ball go in a few times. Defensively, it's kind of a bittersweet effort, I guess. We hit our goals in terms of trying to keep them under a certain number of points and things like that. But anytime you give up 22 offensive rebounds, you have to feel pretty fortunate that you came away with the win.
The stat line is extremely random with the number of shots they had, the number of offensive boards, but you were able to keep them to 14 in the second quarter and 13 in the last. Like, what did you feel was the reason why you were able to hold them?
Well, I think we're seeing that when we are really locked in and communicating and executing our system, that we're a better defensive team than we're giving ourselves credit for. I think that's because of the rebounding. With the exception of the previous 3 games, the rebounding's been our Achilles heel, and it really makes it tough on your defense, and it kind of, I guess, it makes your defense look worse than it is. But I guess if you consider rebounding as part of defense, then we still have some work to do. But I give credit to the guys. Our rebounding was pretty poor, but we did a pretty good job not giving them easy ones after that second chance.
Down the other end of the floor, 3 different players scoring double digits in a different quarter throughout the game. So Todd starts off, then Bryson second, then Vic in the third. How much comfort does that give you as a coach to know you can continually turn to a different bloke when required?
Yeah, I'd look at it 2 ways. Number one, like you said, yeah, it's nice when different guys can really step up and have big games like that. We had 3 guys with really big games today. But I think as a coach, it's almost be nicer if you had 8 guys scoring 10 or 12. Harder to key in on players for the defense, and it shows that you're really moving and spraying the ball. Now, I'm not saying we didn't do that tonight. I think the ball found the right guys, and we hit some tough shots, and I would never turn down the performance that those guys had tonight. But by the same token, I think just being a pessimist, you look at it like what happens if someone doesn't step up? We want to have a balanced attack. But I know we have some guys that didn't score as much tonight that are more than capable of getting in double figures too. So I won't panic just yet.
And that win gets you to positive territory now from an away point of view. 6-5 on the road, which you can talk about staying above 500. How proud are you of the group to be able to win the last one, won this one, and get into that territory now?
Well, I'm proud of the group regardless because we've battled a lot of adversity, and every team goes through adversity. I think we've handled ours pretty good. A couple letdowns here or there, but there's still 3 more games on the road, so we can't really put that goal to bed just yet. Every win is great, and every loss hurts you. So we have to get on to the next one, and then I think we have 3 games in 6 days, so it'll be a really test that we can go to the next play, next game, and keep our focus on what we're trying to accomplish.
Todd, is it a coincidence that you've hit form again after getting home and seeing Jess?
That was good. That was well played. But no, I mean, it's obviously nice to make some shots, but at the same time, it's nice to come away with a win, but also just to be on the floor. It's been a little disrupted this year from a personal point of view with injury, and a little different, but just nice to be on the floor and be able to put some games together.
Well, seriously, everyone's seeing their partners and loved ones again. The energy at the airport was amazing when you all came home, and that energy appears to have transferred straight onto the court again. Did it have an impact? I
mean, I'm not going to say no. Obviously, it's everyone's been away for a long time, and it was nice to be able to everyone to see their loved ones, their wives, partners, kids. But at the same time, I think that's just us taking control of what we can control, and that was come out tonight and put a pretty solid performance together on the road. Adelaide are obviously coming off a tough loss, and they wanted to come out hard tonight, but I think we came out and threw, as they say, through the first punch, and we were able to get the jump on them early, and they made a run through the middle, but to be able to withstand that and come away with a good win.
And what's it like when you're hitting 6 from 6 in the first quarter and not able to miss? What's that feeling like personally when you're just in that sort of shooting form?
Oh, it's definitely fun. I'm definitely not going to say it's not. But at the same time, when you're playing alongside guys like Bryson and Vic, they just draw so much attention. So to be on the receiving end of some wide open looks is always nice.
Scott, Carl Zunic made his return today after his successful Booms campaign. Playing 6 minutes, do you see a bigger role for him in the future after that display for Australia?
Yeah, I thought he would have got more calls being a boomer now. But I thought he played well. We're going to need him, especially with Kevin out for a little bit here, indefinitely, whatever the terminology is. Both Kevin and Kyle have given us some really good minutes this season. And I hope that Kyle has some good confidence coming off that trip because he played well. And, we're going to need him for short bursts here and there, hopefully, where he can provide some energy, provide some defense, and be ready to space the floor on catch and shoots.
You're in a bit of a odd situation now. Like, you've returned home, but you're still 2 weeks away from playing your first home game back. What's it going to be like over these next 2 weeks, going from Perth and just travelling everywhere still?
Well, I think what Todd said is right. Like, it was good to get home and get just a reset, get a refresh. When you're away from your family, you get a chance to focus a little bit more on basketball, but at the same time, that can be a negative too because you don't get the breaks and the chance to just get away from it all and clear your head. So that's kind of one of the things that family does for you in this business is it puts things in perspective, and gives you a little bit of a break from the pressure of playing and coaching and getting ready and stuff like that. So I can't speak for the other guys, like Todd said, but I think it was good for me personally to get home, see my kids and my wife. And it was tough leaving yesterday, but nice knowing that the end is near of all this stuff. And hopefully we can get back to at least a normal schedule when these last 3 games are done.
Mitch Norton returned today as well, played 27 minutes. Was there any doubt before today's game whether he was going to play or not?
No, well, there wasn't any doubt since Friday. He practiced on Friday, so we knew we were going to have him if all went well. And I thought he was pretty good. He got in trouble under the rim a little bit when help came, and he had a tough time making some decisions. But when you look at the box score, he's plus 29. And I think that's probably the story of Mitch is he does everything that you need to win and doesn't always show up on the box score, but it does show up in that one column.
And just the last one from me. Vic Law was hit in the head today, elbowed in the head during today's game. He was off for a bit, but then came back on. Do you think there'll be any potential injuries from that?
I hope not. I mean, he was able to finish the game. Usually we're pretty cautious with that stuff, so hopefully that means he's good. There's not a lot of turnaround time here, and give credit to Vic too. He had some really big offensive rebounds in the second half when they were starting to make some runs and kind of helped stem the tide a little bit.
Any more questions?
Sorry, Scott, just one last one. We've got a massive game against Melbourne coming up. What are you going to work on prior to that one?
Well, unfortunately, for everyone in this league, there is no games that aren't big. There is no games that are easy. So we have really one practice for these next 3 games where we can really compete and get after it a little bit. So we'll try to play. We'll try to work on some weaknesses that we see tonight and from our last game against United, and just try to put our best foot forward. I know everyone's going to be up for that game, but I think the only reason we're focusing on that game is because it's the next one. And once that's over, we'll be on to Brisbane and then on to New Zealand and so forth. So it's a tough little stretch for us, but nice to know that the end of this travel is coming up, or at least a long break from it. And that goal is within reach. We just can't get ahead of ourselves. We've got to stay focused on our process.